Right. Oh boy. Right. So people of the internet and the world and human beings. And what else can I say? Right. Photoshop. Woo. Yeah, I just thought I might stream me trying to make a thumbnail for Wreckfest. So if all comes to worst and I can't stream Wreckfest because of stupid settings, I have a backup plan. I'll just show you how I made the thumbnail for the thing and ignore the failure along the way. So yeah, so start off, I took an image, and that image is that's what you see right in front of you. This cool little. Actually, can you see the mouse? No, I don't think you can see my cursor. Oh boy, that's a setting thing I turned off. Oh, fun. Oh, no, you can see the mouse. Never mind, it's just really small and delays. Right. So in short, I'll be taking this image and doing something with it, aka drawing over it, behind it, whatever you want to call it, and make a cool thing, and then slap my logo on and say I'm done. So, plan of action is let's go for a rundown. Let's give you a basic rundown of my knowledge of Photoshop. We'll start with the toolbar because, if just in case you don't know, that's your removal tool. It does scrap. That's your marking tool. I, pre- I presume you can probably use it to cut shapes and stuff like. Yeah, I presume it's just basically like a border so you don't cut over it. This is more like your selecting tool, so if you want to cut out an image, you will use this. This is more like that. This is another version how to cut out an image. This is your cropping tool, as you can see. This is your frame tool, is it called? Yep. Creates placeholder frames. Little video there showing you what you can do with it. Shit. We've got our eyedropper here. Of course, you want a colour. You can take the colour. We've got ourselves the spot healing tool, which, as it shows, it cleans up messes. Brush tool, paint, which we will be using. Stamp tool, uh, pretty okay. I've used it before to fix up images, which, if I wanted to, I could use it here, but I'm not going to waste my time. I'm just going to draw out this, hand jig it for the background, and who knows, I might add the car in the back in. Probably not, but you can dream. We have our history brush tool, which you can see. More messing around with background images, paint and crap. Just we have the eraser, which gets it to a PNG background, basically a transparent crap. You have the paint bucket tool, which is kind of obvious. Smudge tool, smudges, color in the image. Dodge tool, it will lighten the image up, so per se, like the image in front of us, that lower side is quite dark here, so I can lighten it up. Here we have the history. No, we're on the wrong stage. We have the dodge tool, which it does opposite of the not dodge tool. Sorry, it's the burn tool. There we go, the burn tool in there, which will do the opposite of the dodge tool. And the sponge will do. I think it soaks up. Can't remember. I haven't used the sponge tool too much. I think I messed around with it and figured it out, but top of my head I can't remember. Pen tool, use a pen. Text, and that's path selection. Yep. Then you have shape tool. You got a couple of shapes in there. You have your hand tool. Basically, that's how you move around if you wanted to. And you got your magnification glass so you can zoom in and blind yourself on pixels if you felt like it. So, what we're going to do today, taking the main image here, the 72 car, and I'm thinking I'm going to dodgily draw it out with the brush tool, paintbrush it in, do the same for the background, keep try and remove the rest of the cars, add the trees, and then add my logo on top, blah blah blah, make it unique and cool. So we're gonna double left click on that to unlock the background. Also, there's this you can press to lock it and do crap. This is so I can undo my mess ups and go back a step. Right. First off is I want to lighten up this grill maybe. There we go. There we go, not too much. However, I can now clearly see what the hell's going on. Ish. That side's looking a little weird. Oh no, it's because there's a hole in the panel and that's the wheel. Okay, now I understand. So that's the wheel behind there, and that's that, and that part's the. If you can see it just about, yeah. You can sort of see, I don't know why it's gone white, I just dodged it a little too much. And there's the radiator you can see behind it, cool. Right, I don't think there's anywhere else in the image where I really need to see what I'm trying to draw for detail. Nope. So, first step, make it so you can see what I'm drawing. Second step is to go to image. So you got a bunch of crap here, you can change hue, do a bunch of dumb jickery. I think image size, if I remember I looked, it shouldn't be too bad. It's going to be a thumbnail, so it's going to be smallish relatively. So being large is not a huge problem. It should actually work better. Not looking too pixelated. Image layer. Yes, layer. 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 So now I can draw on this layer and it's detached from the image, which is the entire point. Gotta zoom again. It looks worse, that front wheel. Can almost tell it's a game. It's a game. Right. So here comes the mundane part. We grab our brush tool. Go down to about 3. 3 is my. No, I need to go more. Let's go for 2. Yeah, 2 should be alright. It's thick enough where I can actually see what I'm doing. And so I think you can see there-ish, like the tire treads. So it's quite simply. Lock that to be safe. Oop, that layer. Is attempt to draw said tire. I can't. No, I don't think that's the edge. I think. So just remember, when you're doing this, you want to generally keep the general shape, and once you've completed, you want to hide. Yeah, it has got a bit of a thick roll on it, but it shouldn't look too horrible when I come to having it on my own. So the question is, do I keep shadow or not? Which is a good idea, but I think if I'm not to change the background any further, it'd be fine. I'll just leave it and I'll edit it later. Oops. Oop. So I'm using a mouse for this, guys. So there is a you can use like stuff like graphics pens and digital crap like that. I've tried to use one, but it's been like, what the hell am I trying to do? Reality doesn't. I don't like it. think all this is me moving my hand up a few millimeters. Oh, let's go. That's veering off a touch. Now, the point of doing this quite small is when you zoom out on the main image, you generally can't tell every small pixel fuck up you've done. I say generally. Oh, balls, I mess up. So, as you can see, wheel. But, because we're going for a cartoon effect, when you're drawing on for panel design, it generally gets quite easy. So, yep. So drawing panel design is relatively quite easy, to be fair. Like I said, if I did say it, honestly, there I've just blanked. Did I think that in my head what I was going to say, or did I actually say it? I'm going insane secretly. To think of, have a week off from my graphics course, and I'm doing more graphic stuff. Fun. Ooh, crap. So on the outside layers, you generally want to be a little more careful than you do on the inside layers. For slight flare-ups. Especially because that's your outside layer. That's your general shape. If your general shape fails, well, you've got a wiggly, shady mess of crap. Yeah, that's a problem. I can't zoom in anymore. I need to go along with the ride. And to be fair, I'm not doing this to perfection really. I would spend hours upon hours, days upon days doing this. I'm just going to spend maybe an hour or two on this as a whole, not on this one section, if I can help it. As I do intend to do something else today on stream. Oh, well, on a new stream. Just like Bob Ross, isn't it? Here we have a little brush. I happy little brushes. Take this certain colour, give it a smack around. Bob Ross. I know it's kind of hard to see there, but there is actually a wheel, I think. Yeah, there it is. Angle's a bit weird. I generally leave wheels pure black, mainly because if you keep it pure blackish, you hide up all your mistakes. Because drawing wheels are a pain in the side of the ass. I should have said rear then. Me and English don't mix well. My own native language, dyslexia to the key. So basically, because it's relatively hard to guess where curves are and stuff like that, which I think this might be a rare occasion where I might break my golden rule of just leave it completely awkwardly black. But the problem is, it's quite hard to draw a round surface when it's just the same colour blob. Of course, you always could use darker colours when you're filling it in, but relatively. I keep pressing X. There we go. Z. Control Z to do that. There's also the history brush here if I want to do it more accurately, but One mistake's not too. One mistake. There's plenty for Control Z. As you see, I get a little bit of a perfectionist on the wheels. There we go, goes back a speed up a bit. Goes up to there. Zoom up a bit. Like I said, I'm not entirely fussed about too many small mistakes, as long as the what's going on in the background looks decent enough. I think actually for once this wheel might just be at a good enough angle where I can actually draw per se aside, like so. And this is where it comes awkward when you have stupid little frame parts where you can't draw in a goddamn straight line. Well, let's try drawing it from here instead. Sort of have to be careful on your wrist here. Tensing up your wrist, tense up your hands on this is a bit of a achy thing to do. Yeah, drawing down's never really the most advisable thing to ever do. If you do it and do it straight lines, but I find, yeah, you can see, my drawing up is definitely my stronger suit. There we go, so you got that panel, so if we hide this, you got that panel, goes in black, that goes in red, that goes in grey, black. All is happy. I think we're going to leave the text out of it. And head straight onto the fun zone. I hope I haven't cut that up too much. That dent, it won't be noticeable. I say it won't be noticeable. I don't sweat the small stuff. I'm making a thumbnail for YouTube. It'd be a bit of a meme if I don't do it properly. It's not like I'm doing it for an actual course. For graphics, it doesn't have to be picture perfect. Like I said, I'm not actually spending days on this project. Not spending days. There we go. To be fair, some bits what I'm doing will work, some bits I do won't work, but you sort of have to write out, and sometimes you can only tell what works and doesn't work when you're either looking at it as a whole, or when you're right at the finish line and you can't be asked to change it. Or you don't have the time to change a small bit of oopsie doopsie. And that'll be silver, yeah. So I think if we do a quick zoom out for you guys. There we go, we got a wheel. Ta-da! As you can see, though it's not perfect, oh, you have got a decentish shape. Coming along, and it is looking quite close to the car. It's just a bit of a pain in the ass for me, and probably for you. I know YouTube lighting is worse than what I'm seeing probably now. Go back to the layer. That's why you always want to lock your background, because if you accidentally click back on your background and start drawing, well, it's all for naught. So that's the back panel there. I presume that's the bumper or something, or the exhaust probably. Probably should get like copyright no, actually YouTube in it. YouTube's like, no, we don't care, no music. Music, no. Music, yes. It's like on my Garrix Smells videos, it was like banned in like North Korea because it had like a random American song on. I didn't know YouTube went to North Korea. Which is kind of neat because it was a TTT video because I went to on Crummy Cradle, if you know what I'm talking about. I went to the bar and I put it on the jukebox, and that song is apparently a real song, and it's yeah. But I presume it's quite old. But another trick is to do, if you can't draw a straight line, hold on shift when you've clicked on one point and it'll go to the other. So you can hold shift and draw a straight line horizontally or vertically, or click on one location, click on another. But okay, click on one location, hold shift, click on another, and then you should be able to draw a straightish line. Straightish line, yes, line. My voice sounds awful, probably. Yes, lines. What am I doing? I'm talking to myself, that's what I'm doing. Oh, wait. Is this clipping? I can't believe it. In this beautiful image, I didn't realise the clipping. Now, this is a good question in an image. When you don't want a part of it, what do you do? Oh, that's actually a pain in the ass. Why is it clipping? God damn you, Wreckfest! It's not BMG, for God's sake. And nice, when you're working out this small to create the base image, it sort of does quite help to use small stuff, because then you can probably get away using the shift brush when you want to get through certain things at a certain breeze pace. Right, so basically there's a trick with Photoshop brushes, unless you got the right brush added on, but basically when you put them on, they have a bit of an off-cast of a colour, because it's pixelated, so it's just generally. So at the end of it, what I'll do is add the paint bucket on the line I've drawn to make it thicker and fill up the entire section with black. So when I'm filling in then, I can either double click it or keep it single, and it will look better and not have gaps going through it that are slightly transparent. So we're going to quickly mute my mic to grab a drink. And I shall be back in 2 seconds. So I'm going to quickly zoom out, give you something interesting to look at, and say Joe for 2 seconds. Right, 2 seconds have passed, and I am back for your entertainment and boredom purposes. Why? Because why the hell not? Ah, nice gold cam. Yeah, there we go. Mr. Sandman, bring me your dead. Right, where am I? I'm going to put that image back. So I'm going to look. So you have that. So that's the panel. Oh, no, that's wrong. So it looks like, yeah, the door's dropped, you can see. So in this image, the door's dropped. Ugh, the back panel's a pain in the rear side, however, I'm just going to have to play it off like it doesn't exist. Michael Mick fucking doesn't exist is a good joke to put in here. Insert funny comment here. So now, unlike the other bit where there's a bit of black space, that obviously wasn't the tyre, but who knows what it actually was. That's just going to be the tyre. And zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. There we go, I can actually see shape lines formed in the image. Okay, that's probably a little bit dodgy, however, it works. Here comes the fun part of the wheel arch again. You've seen this once, you'll see it again. This is where potentially doing a smaller brush size might help. In the situation. Oh my god. This is a slight scary thing. When you're using the scroll wheel to move yourself slightly down, don't hold shift as well. So this is slightly at an awkward angle of the wheel where it's going to be a little bit confusing on physical angles, but we played it off. That panel's actually annoying me. I thought, oh, that's like a perfect good image. The front guy's perfectly clean, which fair isn't a problem because it is me driving, but there we go. I think now if we fit on the screen, hide that, and there you go, you have another wheel. It's a car. If you didn't know what a car is a mode of transport. If you don't know what mode of transport is, get civilized, boy. Funny enough, you get to see how long I'm actually spending on this. Even though you don't have to because you've got a clock, but you know actually what time I'm doing this. So the plan is now we've basically got an hour to complete every fucking thing. It's only been 28 minutes, so like an hour and a half to do a quick image. Grapparoni. Yeah, it won't be too hard. Sometimes it is best just to draw out your curves, your lines that go overhead, just because a 2D image, you've got to realise when I'm using one colour, because I ain't going to replicate this mirroring, that's too much work for a 2D image. Well, I could probably figure it out, but honestly, for a thumbnail that I might use once or twice, depends how well Wreckfest actually streams or records, depends how I can actually get it videoed down. So this is where sometimes I wish I knew about the shift brush before I did, because I did some projects where I actually manually drawed everything and a lot of tweaking happened, a lot of screaming happened. For one point where doing the shift brush tool is going to be a bit more of a pain in the ass than it's worth. So yeah, drawing the basic outline, shift tool, try and make it as clean as possible. Because if the outline isn't relatively perfect, you're in a bit of a situation where you can't you need basically needed the outline so the inside could be dodgy as all hell. Is my basic recommendation of Jim's botching Photoshop tactics. Make the outline look decent so the inside can be whatever. If you don't have a good ship, you don't have a good inner. I think if I yeah, that is connected. Just double checking. So if we zoom out now, there you go. It almost looks like a pretty good. I missed a bit on the right side, but it almost looks like a good car. It almost looks like a car, yes. It doesn't matter if it looks like a good car. It almost looks like a car. Don't assume it's good, Jim. This is where I'm talking to myself. This is where the Santi's kicking in, boys. The voices, the voices, the voices, the voices. Okay. Right. Oh no, that's 100%. Okay, it's not too bad. Right. So now, there we go. I haven't botched up that rear side, so that rear side's got a special fender bender thing on there. So, to inspect the area, that looks a bit mud, so I'm presuming that's where the panel attaches to match the other side. Because if you look over there, that's what that is. So then, humanly, I can pretend like the panel here is like nestled in between, well, depends if it's a one piece, it's probably a one piece. Actually, I don't think it is a one piece, but I've got egg. Jimothy messes up. You should expect a Jimothy mess up every other day of the week. Cause it is Jimothy, of course. Okay, stop. This is where small areas start getting a bit iffy. But worst comes to worst, I can always use the brush tool to add a bit of red in the gaps. Because I can botch everything as usual. So now, as you can see, boom, big improvement. You've got the side. You generally know what's going on. So the question is, do I keep the main colour theme, which is probably yes, of red, and the accenting colours shall stay as well, because we are family. Do. So right now we're gonna start doing the front side of the car. This is where another golden rule should probably come into play of me saying, if your outline looks good, right, rule 1, get good outline. Rule 2, get a good face. And rule 3 will, when I realise what I need to actually make look decent. Honestly, if you got a good face, you've got a good outline. I would say if the sides aren't completely out of proportion, so relatively proportional, you've got a good looking car. I'm drawing from scratch, not a clue if that will help you at all, but for Jim's botched all hell photoshopping, it works. Yeah. Sometimes you just have to figure out where you want the line to be based on. Do you want to base it on the panel you're drawing around or the panel behind it? And keeping it simple and clean is the easy way to be. So right now I'm doing the shift tool, mixing around if I want some more curve edges, doing it manually. And once you get into the rhythm of it, the shift tool generally will help you keep things going at a decent pace. So where you're not spending decades on every single curve and not a clue what this is, I presume. Doing that would help me have something there. Sometimes you have to forget what part of the car you're actually doing and then just draw what you're drawing to the image in your head. So sometimes some bits you'll sacrifice because you know it's just not entirely possible with your skill level without spending 6 billion years on perfecting and tweaking, which I don't recommend doing because it's not fun. It's clipping here again, for God's sake. Why is it clipping? Not fun, and generally you want to have something finished in a relatively decent time because if you're doing graphic design or anything like this as a job, taking 6 billion years to tweak one little minor thing, and if it doesn't actually improve it, I know it's like if a novice can't notice the problem, yeah. There we go. You've got a bit of bumper design on. Like I said, bit by bit, as long as you get the outline good and get the face relatively proportional, a decent looking face, the front of it looks good enough. The sides, you're not making a massive weird length problems, but if with the outline generally helps you to keep the sides in check. You sort of golden. I'm actually quite impressed. I actually like the look of this. Right. Let me double check the innards. Yeah, there's no line there. Like I said, sometimes you double check yourself because you're looking at black constantly, so when per se that black line doesn't actually meet up to what you're thinking you're seeing. Like here, oh my god, I've missed this. GMFA, what are you doing? It's a sham. It's all a sham. Tis all a sham. And sometimes you forget your lines look thicker because they're in like dark spots. They look thicker because you're adding it on black, or dark and or the burn tool area. The shade, there's the word that I probably should be using. Why the hell wasn't I? This panel is fucking awkward. What am I meant to do here? Not a clue. I think just sucking it up, buttercup, and acting like there's a rivet here should help with the overall. I have not a clue why it looks so weird. I said you think I've already drawn though because of how dark it is, but no, it's just figment of the imagination. Imagination. I've got a stupid scene holding a bridge to my head. What the fuck's wrong with me? Get out of my head now. Bad. So this here is a bit of a what's the word? Of a weird design thing. You're drawing the curves, you can see the curves in 2D, but where does it end? But it sort of comes back around. So you wanna draw this. Then you got this here, so you wanna question is, do you want to make the sacrifice and connect that up? Because the fact of the matter is, that's quite smooth. So, how do you draw it in 2D, which is a big, who goddamn knows. That's why sometimes the outline of anything you're drawing helps, but I'm thinking, connect that up. Or at least do that. So that's that, and then it's quite cool stuff behind there. However, I'm not doing that much of a detailed design. I'm not that into perfecting that, so that will just be like grey. Or do I actually want something behind there? I presume that's something. Just leave it be. I'll probably put grey and make it simple. This is the whole alright. It's coming up to a minute. Not a minute, 40 odd minutes of photoshopping. I think I've done quite a good amount. I'm generally slower than this, but to be fair, I'm generally trying to think more ahead of because of this. So I want to have this set a certain way. So let me just double check. There's your little panel. So like I said, sometimes it is, you generally have to have in mind what you want to make, so when you're actually drawing it, you generally know where you can give yourself a bit of leeway. Because like I said, 2D image, not every round panel is going to look absolutely brilliant. Trying to think, where's this one go? Let's go this way. Yeah, no, we can get away with that. We can get away with that. Oh boy. We can get away with that. Yeah, we can get away. Right. Do I want to go to the side first? Or I want to do the front first? I probably want to do the front. Yeah, so I haven't got any sort of front design jiggery here, so I think I will. I think. I keep saying I think. I think. It's like all the thing I can do. So I believe that I can touch the sky. I believe I can fly. Right, so what we're going to do is... I know it may look a bit weird jumping the gun if I think I'm going to do this area first, but generally having the outline helps you to judge what you're drawing on the inside. Because honestly, if you're trying to draw the insides first and then you botch that up, the outsides won't match with it. If that makes any sense what I just said. I'm just thinking, was that English? Or was that me just rambling on? Probably me rambling on, but you know. What can you do with a drunken sailor? Copyright infringement. I'm okay with that. That's just like... it'll be fine. Like I said, when drawing the 2D bits, it doesn't always come out completely perfect. Because I don't know what to do. I don't know what's behind here. It's a bit too complicated, a bit too blurry. Is that the wheel or is that the wheel arch? So that'll probably just be grey. So if we could just, if we paint it's just like a light grey, we could just say it's like tin metal, like a small bit of sheet metal, sheet metal. I'll just say that's there to cover up the light hole. Because these are banger racer cars, I guess. Or derby races, I guess, whatever the American off term for it is. There we go. Right. We're going up, over, and around. Like I said, sometimes you generally just have to give or take a couple millimeters of mistakes. Because when you start sweating over the small stuff, you generally will be there for the rest of your life. Because, like I said, it's sort of, you need to get it just about right, not perfect. I'm hearing a buzzing sound, that's cool. So, like I said, if we zoom out, this is now. Up. We have Feng. Okay, Buzzy's fingers stopped. And I've left a gap. It is a tragedy unknown to all men that I have left a gap. Fixed. Like I said, angles sometimes is a pain in the ass as well, so not everything will be perfect or up to a standard you would like. You must deal with it, suck it up, buttercup. Like I said. And some reasons for that. Okay. I'm presuming this is another thingamajig, glitchy boy, mess up for Bob. So we'll check on the right side, which looks perfectly fine, and say that is where we draw the mesh. The hole, which I think we draw like 7 times. This boy, and this boy, and then we're gonna have to guess where that goes. Also, slight problem is since I'm not drawing an actual car, I'm drawing a game car that has breakable physics. Weird little canoodle stuff like this comes up. So like the tyre thing, you're just gonna have to come up with a decentish idea of saying F that, we're doing it this way. Oop, pause. I'll just claim that's that. And I guess that kind of works. I think it's just the angle makes it look a bit worse. For where, right. So about a good centimetre away from the thingamabob, so probably here. Oh. Oops, what am I doing? I'm going here. Down to here. That's same for that, right? That. 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 No, you're gonna ignore that. So, I'm gonna go from here to here. I'm just gonna sit here to here. Here to higher. So that doesn't work because that's curved. Like I said, sometimes it's just, you generally have to sort of give way on certain things and make it more perfect than others. Sometimes it's just, meh, fuck it. I think making the background a light grey would probably work here. like I said, sometimes this image is so detailed and so it's got depth to it where it's going to be a lot of work just to get it looking like this. So a bit of leeway of going, this will do. It's generally a decent idea for all human beings to say, fuck it. Bit of compromise. Okay, I'm rambling on, but you know, at least I'm trying to keep myself talking. So you guys, so it's not just me going quietly in my head. I shall do this. I shall talk to myself. I should do this. That line's bugging me a bit, but like I said, not everything has to be perfect, but generally, once you've drawn every key feature, every bit and bob you wanting to add, and that's not going to take you hours to actually add. Like I said, saying hours, I've coming up to 50 odd minutes. It's fair to what you're doing, but like here, I can't actually really see the line I'm trying to draw horizontally. But since I have the perfect skill of saying fuck it, I'll just add it on whatever way I please. I'll say it's a banger car, so it being not perfectly straight, it probably makes sense. It's probably took a bit of a bang. Oh, I forgot to say. Doesn't help there's a radiator behind it, so I can't actually tell where this mesh lines up. Problem is, at the top you can see where I went a bit too much on the dodge tool in attempt to lighten up the design. Because photographs like to add every single fucking colour they can in the world. Yeah, I was right, I am here. Oh, God. Yawning. Stop it, Jim. Bad Jim. Behave yourself, Jim. Like I said, there's some bits that will take, you'll put too much time in, like I could probably do this left and right in max, but you know what? Fuck it. I'm not gonna ever, like, really look at this again and go, I haven't done this quite right. I can probably, it's looking a little more straight the higher up I'm going here, so it's less curved. It's me saying casually effort. Work here compared to down below where it's a bit more. So since I've actually made the bottom part more square on than I did with this bit, it's going to be a bit of a yeesh fest of who has a goddamn clue what I've done here. Click, 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 click. And you put on screen. Ta-da! So to pretend that's in this groove here, just make it like grey, like sheet metal. Get away with it. I think, because this is quite an awkward shape, I think that is an appropriate responso to that designo. Now drawing the door, we shall have that like that. Let's get this panel first though, to be fair. I want to okay, I haven't actually botched that up as bad as I thought I have. However, because this is at a funny angle, should probably do something like that. Go to here, go to here, do that, and yes, that looks a bit better. So that would probably just be black. I guess I could draw that so that side's lighter than that side, and probably do that again to make it look a bit more like a nerve vent or something of the sorts. I'm not even entirely sure what it is myself, so what can you do, eh? Surgical black nougat for something. Like I said, the angles really can hurt your design by the fact because it comes from drawing something and then it comes a pain in the ass to draw. There we go. So it's one of those silly American weird handle things. So I can probably get away with making it a bit botched. There we go. God, that door's weird. The fact that it leaves its frame behind, and like it cut. Ugh. Oh crap! I need to probably stay more on the outside for the frame, so I can actually put silver though when I get to it. There we go. It's that skull of mine. Okay. Let's go back to the front of the car, because, you know, that's where you all belong. In the front. To then do something on the lines like this. Oh no, I've done messed that little thing up. And voila. I think this is where it's just having the line drawn is better than guessing. This is where I'm not a clue what the point of this is. I think it's like a bonnet hook catch with a jig. Just draw it with like bonnet sucker. Dogs are going like hell in the background, that's fun. Woof, woof, woof. The Secret Society of Dogs. The Luma Dogony. Right, back to the fun part of the design called stripes. It's where you're perfectly looking normal design, you add more lines into it. Hail the Lord of the Line. This is where I'm just going to have to give or take angles and crap. And why the hell is that mixed in my line? I assume it's just a messy paint job, but... Also, distance doesn't help. Like I said, it won't look perfect, but it will. You have to get to a point where you can accept what you've just made. I think having this lip accentuated shall help. Is that the same on the other side? I don't remember what I did. Oh yeah, it's basically close enough. There we go. Like I said, on a 2D design you can't really tell, but it just adds enough detail where it looks realistic enough. So like the more detail the better in some sense. But the question is, do I want numbers on it? Not really. More work. Oh, for God's sake. This is where a habit of not letting go here to then give this area a go. Like that. Then I can do that. Then I can draw the outside. And then when I come up to that, you can see what it is. So like I said, so you got the outline, you're generally solid, you got the good face, the sides are relatively proportional, and look, it looks pretty good as a car. Wheels are always a questionable bit, but honestly, I generally forget about them and just accept that I've got something weird and goofy and meh. Now, interiors are 50-50. Do you want to make the glass transparent or do you want to make it comically blue? I go for the comically blue just because I'm feeling lazy. But it is completely up to you if you actually want to make an interior on a design, because it can be fun. Oop. Ah, my mouse has died. Hooray! Hooray! Plug it in. Breathing in very loudly. There we go. Boop, ba-da-doop. And I can carry on with my funky line designs. There you go, you got your weird dot shape. I think since this bit's open, you gotta have to draw that. So that's the side of the seat. Draw this like so for the fact there is a roll cage. This is I don't even know what that is back there, but drawing it anyway. Draw it anyway, and hope to God you're doing something decent looking is not the worst matter in the world to have. There you go, it's something. I'm drawing with a wire, which is a bit of more of a painful thing, but ayo. You have a car. I think it's probably my first thumbnail I'm going to make for you guys that isn't just me adding images on, or just using one image. I know President Architect, I did a bit of a jiggy wiggy, get funky with it. Nah, 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 nah. Was it no get jiggy with it? Ah, there's some jokes from the 90s or 80s, I don't know, I wasn't born then. I am not worthy of your knowledge of your music. I am not worthy. I think that was probably the bonnet, but Bonetto, Benito, Benedito. Do windscreen wipers? I don't even know. Do I want to draw them? They're too skinny, I would say. Not every detail can be honestly drawn, because slight problem is, it is something called brush size. Pain in the ass. Like, worst thing you can deal with, but what are these? I don't even know. They just completely interrupted my flow of my design, and I'll keep them. I'm calling my little pet. Right. Right, we've drawn that round, that round, that round, which are... I don't know why I'm making random sounds. Random kung fu, kung fu, whatever martial art is. So yeah, basically light blue, add some streaks, call it a day. Jim, laziness is key in all good designs. Honestly, it's probably not too bad. I could, in theory, draw it, but then I have to do the background behind that. Like I said, you have to draw a background of a background of a background. Basically, adding more work if you want to make something transparent. So when you're doing this stuff, yes, it's Photoshop, so you can actually do layers upon layers upon layers upon layers. So like what I'll probably do now is once I've done my car, I'll probably add another layer so I can do the background. I'll probably do it around the car, so I'm not actually touching the car, so I don't have to worry about the mess of it. I can just draw it as I please. I'll probably keep the shadow in with the main car design as well. That's a bit dodgy on the roof, but who cares? That's a bit dodgy there, but who cares? Because when I zoom out, bang, you have a car! So, yes. Now, everything should, in theory, be connected to a line. Maybe one or two things won't be, but this is where the key pot comes into play, so you can see the transparent bit. Watch out. You start adding this, because the problem is when you start filling in, you'll notice the gaps and they'll look ugly as all hell. It's annoying to make them so bulky. It's annoying how much space the small brush takes up. But you're just going to have to deal with the suffering and pain. There we go. Did I miss something on the other side? Yes, I did. Good job, Jim. You've forgot one key important bit of your design. Jim, best designer 2021. It's a new year. Oh my god, it's a new year. It's a new year! To be fair, 2020. I think 2020 was the first year everyone got used to saying 2020 so easily. Because it's all you heard in the news. 2020, coronavirus, 2020, 2020, 2020, 2020, 2020. 2020, 2020, 2020. Yeah, it's just sort of screaming inside. I've heard this too many times. There we go. So as you see, when I'm filling in my shapes, I know it ruins a lot of the finer designs. Like I said, worst comes to worst, I'll just do certain tad bits manually. Like that nice sleek design has been completely put off by whatever the hell I've just done. So if we go back, So that behind that was. So what I could do is this. That doesn't work. So what if I grab red? No. Like I said, what I'm probably gonna have to do is get the good old-fashioned brush and put a touch bit of red in. Like I said, a few key points of working out this size generally hurts and kills because of the brush. So we just start painting in. Doesn't really matter how messy it is because all that's black. Right now, if we actually... Oh, wrong colour. Yeah, so it's disconnected. Bang. There we go. It is the car. And that red's a bit of a wrong colour, but... Yeah. Yeah, let me choose the colour of red. Like I said, photos use every single colour known to mankind. So using complete bright red is probably the best idea we have. Though I could... Yeah, that's probably better. A bit less bright red will suffice. Alright, let's go back down to black. Oops, some bits of design you probably want to do some touch-ups. So when you bucket them in, so worst comes to worst, you can always tweak them, add a bit of with it when using a colour brush tool to add your detail back into the design, but some sacrifices must be made. I think that's the entire car. Voila! So, I think, while I remember, the Grey Menace is add these in. I just realised I've been talking very mellow to you guys. I've not been very shouty, I've not been very upbeat, I've not been very, like, woohoo, let's kill some people, because, you know, you're playing a shooting game. No, it's just, hello, welcome to Jim's light reversion of Relax Bob Ross. Can I take your order, please? Right. We'll zoom out, we go for, I know, the trim pieces up here. These are extremely light. And I mean extremely light. And what the hell's happened here? And I think I forgot that I was meant to leave a line out of this. Right, let's change the colour a bit. And where it gets a bit tight, just add it on manually. I could probably just ignore that little blender there, blunder. Like some bits that you're just gonna notice, some bits you point out where I've gone wrong here by making the thumbnail and doing a live stream, but it's like usual. The creator of everything must know where there's some bits he's not completely happy with. Like some bits you probably would have thought, what if I did this? You know, oh no. Ah, great philosophers thinking about, did I spell that right? Yeah, all this is Right, so that trip's done the car, I think. So bit of jiggy with it. Yeah, a bit duller. It's obviously the shade's getting in the way, but no, it's not dull enough. I think probably want to go into blues for that one, really. Maybe go for that, no. That, no. Duller. There we go, yes. And for that I want to go really dark. I meant really, really dark, there we go. Then that gets a relatively upbeat grey. And I think for the rest of that, just make it black. Hit the eyedropper for that. Just fill that in with that colour. Same with for that colour. So there we go. And just colour that bluey black, whatever comes up. Right, so that's window. Tint red. Ratio, so I think next on the list of jobbies to could do is, I think window will be last, is this questionable area. Call it a day? Yep, call it a day for that. I think that should be a slightly different colour. Like I say, it's originally quite subtle. This is where it's like a mess up, it's going to be like completely changed everything. Thank God Control Z exists. Ugh. That comes to a good question, what do I do with this top bit? Oh, for God's sake. This is where coming up with designs on the fly and dodgily doing them doesn't pay off because you get to some spots that are questionable. Okay, dodgy parts over. Back to click. Yep, click. Holy hell, I'm clicking forever. Da 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 do 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 do. Spring break. Da da da. Ah, just forget it. Nope. I won. There we go. I'll be fine, you won't notice it. Being lazy again. Jimothy. No, Jimothy, bad Jimothy, behave yourself, Jimothy. Concentrate. You got half of me being mildly tired, mildly concentrating, and mildly trying to be a commentator. And left clicking. Left click, left click, left click, left click, left. No! Left, no. Left. Yep, so pretty much. Here comes the what's what clicking session, and you start having a bit more of a clue what my final design looks like. I've got the roof stripes. Actually, I kind of like it without the roof stripes. Okay, laziness prevails, no roof stripes. Honestly, I forgot about them. Look at that, it's coming together, boys. Boys. Yeah, I like that. Blue's gonna look better. Okay, zooming for the final bit of the bonnet here. Like I said, probably doing this minor detail here probably wasn't a good idea on my part. There's a quick refit. There we go, it looks better. Last couple bits left of tweaking before I jump onto the wheels. The wheelies. Like I said, I'm coming up to an hour and a half-ish now. I'm almost there. Almost to my predicted completion time. I think I've realised something daft. Yep, I haven't actually coloured in you, my good sir. So I'm going to take the eyedropper and be lazy. I'm yawning. Stop yawning, Jim. Behave yourself. So if when the outline tactic of drawing with the drawing stuff in a certain way is when you do my fill tactic of trying to so you don't get the white gaps. You kind of end up in a weird position of having these sections of tiny white spots That make no real sense. Look a bit ugly, but oh well. Stop yawning. Beg, stop. There we go. To be fair, I think it's coming out fairly well, to be fair. It's quite surprised how there we go. I think that's a bit of outline I missed. Right, look at that. That's looking pretty goddamn good for me. Oh. I drop, click, click, I drop, click, click. As you see, you want to go one tone for tyres. Okay. I think I'll pick grey. Not to make the bottom bit look too dull. Whoop. Oh, balls. Alright. Let's get back to the there we go. There we go. And a slightly different colour for that. That. I drop, click, get rid of view. Okay. Click, click, click. Click, click, click. Like I said, it's coming together fairly decently in this last stage. The plans come to fruition. It's not so much crazy talk. I think it's best to eye drop from this, so it's a slightly different tone because of lighting. Yeah, it's better. Let's grab you again. What the hell? Why is there patches of crap everywhere? There we go. So apparently that wants to be a black area, so I'm going to go grey. Oh no. You give it a tad bit of detail and be happy with it. There we go. I think that's looking pretty good. Now I've got Windows, 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 and that'd be fine. Share screen. Da, 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 da. Timothy. So you're gonna be filled up by that, and that, and that. You're gonna be filled up by not a clue what colour you're gonna be. That. You're just cut off by diagonal pixel. So are you. So then I want you. So there we go. And here comes the last stage of picking a nice, like, tanny colour. Let's go a bit lighter. And saying bang, bang, bang. We have ourselves a car, gentlemen and ladies. An hour and a half. I told you. That's how long it'll take for me to make a car. Okay. I get knocked down. So now it comes the bit you've all wanting to see is, am I going to have the shadow? Because you know shadows are fun and cool and unique. Everybody wants to see a shadow. Okay, that's connected. Okay. Click, click, click. Oh, crap. Click. Click, 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 click. I'll leave that gap as a complete fill. Because he is a complete fill. Ha ha ha. Fool. Get it, Phil? Fool. Fill. Fill a fill. Fill a foo. Fill a foo. Fill a fi. Foo. Fum. Tim tum. Right, I'm just rambling on at this point. Right, let's get an eyedropper. And that is our shadow for the car. Let's get a new layer. New. Let's put it like that. So this is where care and precision jump out the window for a second. Since I'm in theory deleting all these cars. Oop. Trying to now I'm trying to guess the level though. Oop. There we go. That's a boy, Jimmy boy. Let's hide the car. Okay. Bring it home to that, right? Let's do the old-fashioned eyedropper trick and then whoosh a bang. Add that on. Cool. Oopsie. Right. I'm not going to do anything too amazingly overcomplicated. I'm just going to shoddily, mainly, build myself A turn me around. Whatever that song's called. That's that it. Just make them colourful. So I'm going to do the same old-fashioned trick over here with this. It's called Guess Where the Barriers Go, and hope to God you don't mess it up. This is where if I had more time I would probably do a lot more of a better image for this, or get a different image for in the background, which would be a good idea, but can't be asked. I'm getting tired. Also, dinner's coming up soon, so I should probably have dinner soon. Before I I might do another Garry's Mod stream if it's not too dead. Because that depends. If I want to save Wreckfest for tomorrow, or I might do a big Garage Mod, come off early, then do a shorter a Recce Fest. This is where I'm just straight up. I'm throwing this together as quick as I can now. Not as quick as I can. To make it, I could probably do it a lot cheaper, but I'm just trying to. Throw something of a background together, because the reason why you look at this background so much is because it's quite detailed. But if the main focus is my bright red car, I don't want to over exert myself in this background, which will probably be ignored. Okay, just draw that across there. Bingo. And you go kabang. Oop. Oh, great. The corrugated effect is a pain in the ass. I just realised what a pain in the ass this is gonna be. Got to make it multi-level, multi-crap, multi-fack-a-fack. Oh boy. Jimothy is a little bit out of sync on this one. And I've got a line. There we go, that's more like corrugated. Ish. Okay, it's more believable. So if I add the actual car back into the background, the foreground, there we go. Now look clean, sleek, brum brum. Like I said, if I potch it good enough, it should be alright for a while. I think it's now need to keep up the same sort of size pattern. Bull pay nass. Why do you build me, build me, da 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 da. Okay, stop singing, Jim. Why is that stuck in my head? My head's going on a loop today. It's like, what classic songs can I bang into this old head of me? Old head of me, yes. You've got to be kidding me. Pain in the rear. Diagonal bastards. Right, put that back up. No. Get the light blue. Scroll back across. And wish you didn't have to boop, boop, boop. Probably want to. Boof, bulky. Ah, fun. Right, there's that. Christ alive, Jimmy, this is getting a little bit out of hand. Wacka wacka whack, whack whack whack. Rat the mat, da da, rat the mat, ba ba da ba ba da, rat the deck. Right, and then. Oh god, oh no. Let's go for white again, so white. Boop, boop, boop. Alright, now we're gonna go for a slightly different colour. There we go, it looks corrugated. Like you can see, it's the. This is where I'm actually thinking, so I'm getting a bit iffy, and why do I not just keep it like this? So I've got a car in the background. Ugh. So why not just call this complete? So I think that's pretty good. So now I need to. It's like this is like me. In fact, me 5 minutes ago, sort of meme. Right. File. Open. My logo. So this nice fun tool. automatically. Who knows? I might be able to update this at some point. You've got to be kidding me. How the hell am I going to cut this out? Is it going to be a pain? Nope. Right. So if you want that, give them that. Why is it being a pain in the ass? Stop being a pain in the ass. Right, that should do. Add it on. There we go. I can add a gym logo somewhere. Put it like gym logo. Let's get a nice typeface. Horizontal type. Wreck Fest. That's absolutely tiny. Wreckfest. I was gonna say, is that what it's actually? Whoop. Is that how it's actually spelt? Wreck. Yes, it is. Coolios, right. So we want to make this huge as all hell. 200. Right, this being pain in the ass. Type come back. Wreckfest. There's that. Put you above there. We want a good old fashioned, I think, orange. Do we want orange? Perhaps, yeah. Right, now we want a good typeface. Nothing too overpowering. Something that fits the theme. Broadway, no. Broadway, no. There we go, Wreckfest. Something cheap and cheerful. Some bit of meddling. Breakfast? No, I want it low. But I don't think orange is the right colour. How about black? Yes. Breakfast. Yeah, I think this is with my graphic design knowledge a little bit of help. Probably a bit of a weird side thing, but it's acceptable, I would say. So I've done it, guys. I've completed it in just short of 2 hours.